Good Tuesday to you, everybody, in Gov 603. Welcome to week Kaboom 3. How are you doing? Hang on, let's get things started off right. Much better. Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I highly recommend. Beautiful region of the country. Okay, welcome back from a long weekend, from the Labor Day weekend. I hope that you had a restful and blessed weekend, maybe some time to spend with family, as do I, because my wife's birthday falls on Labor Day. Are always very close, so we got together with some family and celebrated that. But it is a new week, a short week. So in this video, we're going to talk about the material that we're covering for this week. But I have an announcement. Now, although I make one video for both sections of this class. There's a section Gov 60302, Gov 60305. Okay, this announcement is only for people in Gov 60302. So if you're in 05, you can disregard what I'm about to say. It comes from the files of mea culpa, my fault. I apologize. I can't say exactly how, but I inadvertently deleted question number 4 from week 2 discussion. If you're in Gov 60302, I inadvertently deleted that question along with all of your discussions. Yes, I know. I don't know. Well, I mean, if I get to say I don't know how it happened is when I push the delete button. That's how it happened. But how I got to that point where I was getting rid of something that I thought was something else, and I didn't realize that it was question 4 from week 2 and that you had already answered it. That's my mistake. I am very sorry. It's the Canvas learning curve continues. So I have to ask a favor of you. Again, this is only if you're in Gov 60302, section 02. I have to ask a favor of you, and that is if you'll go back to the discussion boards just for Gov 60302, all right? And you look at week 2, I reposted the question, question number 4 for week 2. So even if you already answered it, please go back and answer it again. And that's my fault. I apologize. I'll leave it up. You'll have to the end of next week or the end of this week. And the question itself is focused on literature reviews. Okay, so I do want you to spend some time thinking about this. Why is it that good research begins with a literature review? Because this is something you'll see again in the final exam and the midterm exam. Okay, so I am sorry. I don't know what happened. I mean, I do know what happened. I pushed the delete button. I don't know how I got to that. There's some of you who emailed me and said, hey, that's weird. Question 4 from last week disappeared. Where'd it go? Well, that's where it went, and the fault is mine. I'm very sorry. Okay, now I've gotten the, do I know what I'm doing with Canvas out of the way. Let's talk a little bit about the material for this week. I want you to start with the first 2 chapters in Powner. And, they're a little bit different from the major theme of this week, and that is we're going to talk about descriptors, that is terms of measurement that we use frequently when we're talking about empirical research. And chapters 1 and 2 in Powner focus on how to come up with research topics, starting with research questions. And some of you have emailed me about this, going, I'm really not sure how to attack this paper. And how do I do that? You'll find suggestions as to how you attack your semester paper in chapters 1 and 2. So chapter 1 is how to come up with a research topic from a research question. And then chapter 2 focuses on how to come up with how to move from that research question, okay, to theory or a hypothesis. So these are important and useful skill sets for you to have. Okay, so those 2 chapters are a little out of sync with the rest of the material. Now, remember, now that we're in Canvas, that what you need to do with each week is go to the modules. All right, and there's always going to be at least 3, sometimes 4 modules. There's going to be an overview telling you, this is the big picture for this week. All right, and this will be what it is that I want you to come away with. And so this week's main focus is on measurement. Okay, and so you're going to come away with an understanding of what a variable is and different sort of variables and difference between descriptive statistics and now my mind's gone blank. And anyway, and analytical statistics. Okay. You're going to come away with an understanding as to what we mean when we say measured validity and internal and external validity and reliability. These are standard terms that you hear used all the time in empirical research, and you need to have an operational understanding of these terms in order to follow what it is that's being described when you're reading research. Okay. So that's the focus. Now you'll find when you start in the modules, you get sort of the overview, and it will always say overview. And then the next module or thing in the modules you want to go to is what do you study? So you'll see the readings listed, and you're often going to see go to the syllabus and look for the readings or the videos associated with that week. So for week 3. Now, there's kind of a fun little video, why you should love statistics. But then the 2 others that I want you to focus on are a video discussion of descriptive statistics, and then a section, a chapter in it's a book called The Effect, okay, on what's a variable and the different kinds of variables. I want you to be able to clearly distinguish, say, between a continuous variable and a categorical variable. These are terms that are going to come up in the course of this semester and when you're reading about empirical research. Okay, so if you don't want to get somewhere and go, yeah, what's that? You want to have an operational understanding of that. Okay, and then in the modules week by week, after you hit the study. After you hit that one that says study, then you'll get the assignment description. Okay. And it'll say, okay, go over to the discussions, answer the questions that are listed. And it'll always say the week number, like week 3, question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4. There's always going to be 4 questions per week. And I'm always going to ask you to respond to a certain number of your classmates. So make sure that you read that in the module as well. Okay. So for this week, those 2 chapters in Pauner, and then focus on not only what are descriptive statistics, okay, but how do you plunk them down and go through them when you're using something as simple as Excel. And by the way, if you do not own Microsoft suites, and I don't use a lot of Microsoft products anymore. Doesn't matter. If you have a Gmail, which is free, then you can access things like Google Sheets and produce Excel spreadsheets just like that. And you might be asking yourselves, why would I need to produce Excel spreadsheets? Well, because for your semester paper, for your research proposal, maybe you are going to gather data and gather descriptive statistics that you're going to lay out in a table, and you'll want a little example of that. Remember, and that's the other thing, if you haven't already, make sure that you download the paper description and understand that there are 2 dates to it, not 2 papers, 2 dates. You've got to have your topics up, which I'm going to be reviewing. And maybe, in trying to convince you, think about this research project, you're trying to get it funded. In trying to convince your funding source, that's me, that what you would do is put a little example of the kinds of descriptive statistics that you would be gathering and what you're going to do with them. Okay. So I want you to have that covered, and it's going to come up on your midterm exam. Okay, everybody. Short one today. That is what to look forward to for this week. Again, for people in section 02, I am really sorry about hitting the delete button. Please go back, and I'll leave that up. You have the full week. It's a pretty straightforward question. It doesn't require necessarily any reading, in through the text on your part, just some reflection. Okay. All right, everybody. I will see you in the next video. That is the one in which I discuss what you did last week and review your answers to the discussion questions. And that will be posted to Canvas. Okay. Take care, everybody. God bless, and have a great, great week. Bye-bye.